Hello, and welcome back to the Pink Sofa Hour. Good afternoon to all of our audience. I am here joined by Clementine. How are you guys
Yeah,
doing?
what's
up,
guys?
You guys look awesome. I like the coordination except for the drummer. That's always very classic.
I miss
He didn't
the
really
memo. Lectures.
Why don't you guys start off by introducing yourselves?
Alrighty.
Any order.
I'm Laren. I'm the lead singer of the band.
I'm Sam. I play guitar and do some harmonies.
I'm Caleb. I am the drummer.
I'm Elizabeth. I'm the bassist.
I'm Kieran Wizzle, and I also play the guitar.
Fantastic. So, how did the name Clementine come around?
So back when we were first getting started, it was just myself, Sam, and this other girl, Gia, who's sadly no longer in the band. And we had booked a show without even first really having a band, so that was like, it was a whole struggle to get that set up. And a few hours before we were about to go on, or I guess it was the day before, we were like, guys, we need a band. And so we would come up with names, and Gia had the best name. She just said, hey guys, what about Clementine? So that's really how it came to be.
Wow. That's just a off-the-cuff, spur-of-the-moment kind of thing. Much similarly to how it is that it sounds like this band came together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. So you didn't even know who was going to be playing in the show before you booked it?
So, Sam, how did it work out?
I was working at this like drive-in movie theater, and Kieran and myself had like jammed a few times, and then we're like, let's jam with Gia too, and then we did once. And after that one time, then Gia also worked at the drive-in, and then she was like, hey, we can play a show. And I'm like, okay, come play a show. And we're like, oh, we only practiced once for 20 minutes. And so then we like practiced for like the whole day, 2 days in a row. And then,
Wow. And you guys just pulled it together. That's amazing.
we did. It was a very different band back then.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
Barely
I went and saw them
recognizable.
there. It was crazy. It was wild. They covered Doja Cat.
Oh, sick. Okay.
All sorts of
Yeah.
shit.
So how did the rest of the members end up joining?
So Kieran and I have a similar story. We were just like jamming, and we never played any shows, but we were in a duo called Pufferfish.
Yeah, Pufferfish.
And Kieran and I needed the rest of a band, and Clementine needed a drummer. So we were like, hey, wouldn't it just be smart if we conjoined forces? So we just merged the two, and then Gia promptly left. So it was like me, Sam, and Kieran for a while.
Yeah.
And then I came into practice one day, and they're like, hey, we got a guy to sing for us. I was like, okay, cool. And then Laren showed up, and I was like, I don't know about this guy. And
we
then,
just practiced once.
yeah.
We like wrote a whole song in that day. Our first ever Clementine song called Family Love, which is this terrible like.
It's a horrible song.
Yeah,
Super
it
inappropriate.
can't be like the children cannot listen to it. It's terrible. But that was kind of the beginning.
That sounds like an unreleased.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
gem,
It's
honestly.
definitely B-side,
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go digging real deep, you might be able to find it. But I got
Do
it.
you guys perform it live at all?
We did once at a house show.
Depending on the
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah.
Depending on whose ears.
We're afraid they'll get a little bit pissed at us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
They get pissed at me for hanging on pipes. Like,
Because you're gonna
You're
break
gonna
them.
break something,
no,
man.
God, I'm not that heavy.
Yeah, and then like I think it was like 6 months after or something, like Laren joined. There was a backyard show that they were playing, which was like the second backyard show they'd ever done at Kieran's house. And I pulled up with a friend who invited me, and I was like, oh sure, I'll just go see these guys I go to school with play. And Kieran was like, yo, if anyone in the audience plays bass, please, I'm so tired of playing bass. And then I hit him up afterwards and was like, hey, I play bass. And then like a month later, I was just like jamming with Clementine.
Part of the band, like
Yeah.
out of the
True.
blue.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Instantaneous.
I actually genuinely enjoy this story because it reminds me kind of almost of some of the music you guys produce. It's not that it's like came together awkwardly or accidentally, but like that's sort of the roots of like a lot of like punk and like aggressive music that like came out of like the 90s. Just like a bunch of people like met at the skate park and
Yeah,
just
right.
started like shredding together afterwards.
Mhm.
That's authentic is the word I'm looking for, I think. And this all happened in Fort Collins. You guys all live in Fort
Yeah.
Collins.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for making the drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I-
This is super cool.
I go up there all the time, and I love it, honestly. I think it's a really special town. A lot of music's happening, and I'd like to get a little bit of your perspective on it. What are some of your favorite spots? What is this drive-in theater? Is that the Lyric?
No, different thing.
Okay.
But, yeah, the drive-in's just like a little. It's a twin drive-in, so there's 2 screens, and then
Yeah.
you can just hang out
It's
there.
not really a stage. They just perform kind of on the roof.
Yeah, we were on the roof of this snack
building
shack.
that like
Yeah.
projects the
That's-
movies out.
And it was in 2020 when there was like the big flames and.
Oh yeah, the
And
fire was like
fire
literally
stuff.
right behind Horse Street,
Yeah.
so you could see.
Oh,
like,
wow.
the
It was like an
smoke.
orange sky, and it looked epic, but at that time, I don't know if it sounded epic because we were so new to music. But
Well, you're probably going to feel that way throughout your entire life. You just keep getting better at it, and things keep getting tighter. But if it means anything, I think you guys sound fucking great.
well, thank
Even
Thank you.
way back at Goosetown Tower.
you.
So,
Thank you.
absolutely. So, any favorite venues in FOCO you guys like to check out?
We always love the Aggie because
Aggie's
Oh,
yeah.
that's just the
Yeah.
OG. We've headlined that one. The Washingtons is also sick venue.
Super
The
nice.
double level with the little
Incredible
balcony.
sound.
And yeah, their crazy sound system. Like, it's just so cool. And also the Lyric. Like, the Lyric's kind of also where we had our first few shows. Like, me and Sam and Kieran and Caleb, like, had Clementine, and we would just go out to the Lyric for, like, their little open mic nights.
Sure.
And we would just, like, do, like, 3 covers of, like, random Green Day or Nirvana songs. And it really would suck.
It's terrible.
But, like, I don't know, that was the beginning of us, like, getting confident to perform on stage.
Yeah.
And, like, really the root beginnings. And their venues are just, like,
Super
awesome.
artsy. It's
Yeah,
really
super
It's
cool.
unique,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really cool.
I like that place a lot too.
Just trippy.
I'm glad you mentioned Green Day and Nirvana and bands like that, because I definitely feel like you guys belong on like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater like soundtrack, or like in particular, I think like Modern Philosophy is just like I hear that playing in like the background of Crazy Taxi or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just fundamentally exactly the sound that came out of that era. So kind of like what inspired you guys to like pick up this sound? Is it that you listen to this music a lot? Is it that you feel like it's should be coming back? Is it
You know, I was actually thinking about this on the drive down, or it was in the shower this morning. Regardless, I was thinking about it today. Like all our songs are like pretty different from each other. It's not like so different that it's a huge drastic change, but they're different enough, and I think that really like stems from everyone in the band like really like listens to like their own music and has their own influences. Like Sam's a huge like Green Day fan. Laren, what do you listen to?
Sure.
Weird music?
I listen
You should
to
say
a little
clown
bit of
music.
all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
EDM,
100
rap,
gex.
yeah,
Baby
hyperpop,
Tron.
Baby Tron,
Destroy
Big Baby Gucci.
It's like, you know, Caleb and Elizabeth, you guys have like a little bit more like emotional stuff. I'm not saying like emo specifically.
No, it's fine.
You can say emo.
But it's, yeah, it's like
Slur.
a lot of like emo,
Right.
little bit of emo stuff, a lot of like hard rock too, and like for me it's
Yeah.
like a lot of metal and hard rock.
Yeah, I
Wearing
feel like
an Iron
we
Maiden shirt
all.
right now.
Iron Maiden's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
emo.
No,
Actually,
I'm talking about hard rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
hard
No,
rock.
but I
right
feel
here.
like we all kind of like do listen to the same.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
hard
There's some
rock
overlapping.
claps.
Yeah.
There's
A
a
lot of
like-
overlap.
It's like a
Yeah.
giant Venn diagram, and most of it is overlapping, but Laren's on like the outside.
I don't know about that. He just has a wider taste.
And then like I'm like on the outside with like my little things, and Kieran's on the outside with his little things. So I'm
That's
like,
true.
man, I hate prog music, but I really like Polyphia. Doesn't, I don't
Just
know.
out of nowhere.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It doesn't make sense.
I like Polyphia too, for the record. But I agree that you guys definitely have a bit of a range of how it is that you guys make music, especially like on the Basement, starting off with like Franco, just like an acoustic track, really cool, and then going right into stuff that's a little bit, more produced, more driven.
Mhm.
That's a special sort of thing that I think keeps bands fun to listen to for an audience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody that's just come in and like also has a Venn diagram of their own of stuff that they like.
Mhm.
If you can like kind of hit multiple parts of their Venn diagram, it usually really imprints something into their mind. Like, I like these guys for more than just like listening to because I like punk music. In particular, I think off of Nova, Closer to Casual was my favorite tune there, and it definitely is a little bit more like Iron Maiden inspired, a little bit like more dissonant and heavy.
I can see like some of the songs like where they go into like there's like breaks. I can totally hear that dissonance. I actually never really thought about that one before.
Yeah.
I
was
thought
on
about it.
Yeah, he was the one who wrote that song.
I did write that one.
Cool.
That's why there's only 3 chords, because we can't be the drummer.
Yeah, there's I forget, I was actually playing along with it before you guys came over. That scale that you hear in like the melody of the vocals is kind of like Phrygian or like Locrian or something like that. I don't know if I'm just like talking like random words here, but you guys.
Sort of Chinese.
Yeah, when we were
Yeah.
recording it, the guy we were recording it with was like, Caleb, what key is this in? I was like, I don't know, man. I just played some chords. He was like, okay, it's in this weird like Chinese key. I don't know
Yeah.
how to
It's a
pronounce
mode,
it.
yeah. It's something like that. I know that pipe players in like Phrygian, at least the main riff is, and Perfume borrows from Lydian, and then Kraken I think is in mix. No. It's just in harmonic minor, but
Right.
still, there's all sorts of different like sounding things, and it's not like we're like, let's write something in some crazy music theory thing. It's like
Even though we are kind of
We're like,
that now.
ooh, that sounds cool.
the only reason I'm like saying all this besides to sound smart is because like after we've recorded it, I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's a mode, and then
Wait, we did something in music, like.
yeah, without meaning to, it just sounded cool.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Excellent.
basically all the
Yeah.
modes have been discovered.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they all come out of the chromatic scale, but fundamentally it's nice to know that, like, when you're making up something that just sounds good to you, that there is some sort of thing to back it up, because then you can explore that concept further within, like, the framework.
Yeah.
Which brings me kind of my next question is, like, the process of how it is that you guys write. I understand that Closer to Casual was one person's kind of invention, but typically is it sort of like that? One person shows up with an idea and is like, hey, do you guys want to riff on this? Or is it more like a collaborative sort of jamming environment, or is it some kind of mix of both?
Depends on the
It's-
song.
Yeah,
A
like
little bit of both.
what you were saying with each song being different, I feel like each song has a different way of coming to life, I guess, as well. Like, Closer to Casual, Caleb's like, hey, here's the drum part, here's the, like, chords, and then we brought it to the band and then Laren wrote a bunch of lyrics for it, and then but then there's been others where Laren's just like, here's the Anime Girls, and then we just do it.
That one's
And then-
hilarious.
And then he
by
comes
the
over,
way.
he
I
comes
thought
over
that
with
was
the
about
drums.
that I showed them Anime Girls, they were like second guessing the shit out of
Yeah,
me.
I was like, I don't know
What
about
are those
this
lyrics?
one. Are you
what
sure?
did he just say?
Yeah.
I
But
think that's why it has
changes.
its charm to it. Is it's kind of like unapologetic. It's just like
Yeah.
let's just say what everybody's thinking.
Of course.
So, that being said, I think usually I like to take about 15 minutes of talking, and then give you guys an opportunity to play a song if you'd like, or we can chat some more. Totally up to you. I know you guys brought a whole bunch of instruments, which I'm actually really excited to hear, because hearing some of these songs acoustically to me is like a very distinct sort of like secret pleasure that I get from getting to run this show.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've never really done acoustic like songs before ever, so like we're stoked to play them too.
Yeah, we
That's
always
so
talk
cool.
about it. We're like, we should record some acoustic songs, and then it never happens unless we go like camping or
Yeah.
something.
What about Franco? That was an acoustic one.
That's like the.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's-
count.
It's one guitar
It's
for
like
40
30
seconds.
seconds,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
And
But, yeah.
we didn't even write that song. So.
That was a-
that was one of
That
That was
Gia.
Gia. It's like a
Gia
tribute
from
to
before.
Gia, our first member. Is that?
interesting.
'Cause that's her.
Yeah,
that's
Gia
her mom.
and I, when I was a sophomore in high school, she was a junior. We were in a band together called Muck, and I played bass for that band. And like Muck, like eventually, like when we all like broke up, it was kind of sad. But yeah, like once we broke up, like Gia and I stayed together, and then we brought Sam on. We played a lot of Muck covers at our first show actually, and when we were recording, I just thought it would be nice to do a tribute to like where we came from. So that was terms of why we did it.
But it
And why
used to
it's-
be. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to.
Oh, I was gonna
interrupt.
say it's why it's so different from everything
Mhm.
else, basically. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna
Gotcha.
say it used to be a full-length song, and then we just kept that little
We just
snippet of it for.
cut it down a little
Didn't want to be sued.
bit. Exactly. I want her to come back.
Sued by
and
your
bite us
former
in the
members.
ass. Yeah.
I also need to clarify, Gia is not dead.
Yeah.
Gia's
Gia is very cool.
I don't
Gia's
think I would've,
still with
uh,
us. She's just not with us.
Right, I wouldn't have guessed that that was the case. It seemed, you know,
Well, should we play
the
a
air
song?
wasn't like that somber.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about.
Anyway, yeah, we should play a song.
Yours
Yeah,
song?
why
get
not?
to it.
This
We'll
feels
try
like a
your
good
song,
time.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
Your song.
Okay.
Okay. Should we just start it?
I was driving in the pouring rain. Your house was down the lane at the corner of Shields and Sunset Drive. Knowing there I spent the night. You told me you had something new. I wasn't sure, but I had a clue. Stuck in bed and knocking on your door, looking for someone I hadn't seen before. I listened to your song. It told me I'll never be alone. I'll never be alone. I listened to your song. It told me I'll never
try.
You guys sound great.
Thank you.
Did you rehearse that before you came in?
We
No,
did.
we
Well, we
kind
did
of.
that one.
We
that
did
one
that
we did.
shit last night while we were drunk as fuck camping.
Hell yeah.
No, we were not.
We were not.
We were not.
We were minors.
Drunk
Yeah,
off of
yeah.
Kratom.
No.
Yeah,
of
off
course.
of
We
a
got
Kava
legal
shot.
That's much better.
Where were you guys camping?
Kind of by
Big
Estes.
Elk Meadows, yeah, it's like Estes. And you go over.
Nice.
That's like this little stream. Really nice, free camping area.
Love that. I also really appreciate the fact that you guys put the Spotify lyrics on your albums. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. It's I love reading the lyrics along with like listening to the songs. And I know that not all of them are time coded, but just having them there so that I can like reference them and be like, is that what he said? Great. Yes, that is what I thought I heard. And you know, there's a depth to lyricism in songwriting that like really shines when like you appreciate it sort of like poetically from that standpoint. I really like that song. And I like the arrangements that you guys just did. So thank you so much for putting that together.
That's actually
course,
really
that's pretty
funny because like I remember those first times that we were like playing that song with all of them, and Caleb would, and like everyone would think that the lyrics were different from what I was singing. Like they thought I would say, "My life is stupid and a stove," but I'll never be alone. And I had to clarify that like literally like a month after we had like
Released
released it. Then
No.
they finally knew the actual lyrics, and it wasn't "My life is stupid and a stove."
Well, the first time I heard it, I was like, "My life
Cooking.
is stupid in a stove." That is such a weird line. Why would he be a stove? And then I was like, "Wait, actually, that's kind of deep because
There's levels
stoves
to it,
get
bro."
used." Man, that's like a weird line, but I guess it works really well. And then
Maybe you guys are like cooking or something.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
it was like people use stoves to cook things for themselves.
Right. So I'm selfish.
Yeah, is it something about being selfish? And then I found out it was dull and not stove.
Whatever it is, it works. Because I
Yeah.
think, you know, there's a lot of emotion in the melody, too, in that particular song. Just sort of like the refrain and the way that the lyrics come back over and over a little bit more intensely each time definitely implies what the lyrics actually are, as it is. So, great work. And I've got a random question for you guys. What is your favorite citrus fruit?
Are we supposed to say Clementine?
There's kind of only one right answer, but like not
I
really.
mean, Clementine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
pretty good.
people ask me what my favorite color is all the time, and I'm like, what's this?
Come on, a maroon, deep maroon.
Actually, I like limes.
I was gonna say,
I fuck
I
with
fuck with
limes.
limes heavy.
There we go. You guys can break away from, you know,
Exactly.
this isn't a test or something.
Okay. Well, did we pass those?
Said it wasn't
No.
a test.
So you guys started off releasing music as a band with Perfume way back in February 2022, a little over a year ago. That one was a single.
Yeah.
I believe that it was February 14th is Valentine's Day.
It was.
That's fascinating as a release date. Was there any significance behind that, and just like with the song and?
Yeah. Well, I wrote that song, and it was the first song that I like fully wrote, and I like where I like had a full song with like lyrics throughout, and I was like, whoa. But it was written while I was like on a road trip away from my girlfriend for the first time ever, I guess, for like I don't know, not the first time ever, but like it was just 2 weeks where we hadn't seen each other, and it was the start of our relationship, and then I was kind of like, oh, I miss her.
Yeah.
And so I wrote that song, and then as like one of my first songs I'd ever written, and then we're like, well, it's a love song. We were just trying to get our first release out. We're like, how soon can we get it? Like this Friday, and then it like I think we're like, oh,
It worked out.
Valentine's
Day
Day
was coming up. Yeah.
and it's like we're like we should just do Valentine's Day and then make a whole thing out of it.
Yeah. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, let's record a video. Let's have it be our first release. Have it be on Valentine's Day. Make it really special. The premiere of like Clementine on actual like streaming platforms. Now like that was like our first like big jump up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you guys, whenever anyone decides to produce and put out a song and say it's done, here you go, consume it. it's a big step forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a very special sort of moment because people get to really give you honest feedback and be like, hey, like I really like this, or like, hey, like stop doing this. Which I assume you guys didn't really get because it's a good song. And you guys went on to continue to produce more music, and eventually that ended up on The Basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the EP.
Yeah.
I never know where to draw the line with EPs because like it's 7 songs, but like LPs aren't that much longer,
Right.
and like it's not a single. It's like
Yeah,
where's the
weird.
distinction? But yeah, I guess technically there was a couple of songs that you guys put on The Basement, which was a couple months later, like May or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Your song, the one you guys just played right now,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest were new, right?
We all kind of wrote those songs at the same time and recorded. So like when Elizabeth was in the band, like when they first joined the band, like when we were finally fully formed, we kind of entered like this big writing phase. And so, you know, we'd already had Perfume and Down on My Luck written, because Down on Our Luck was actually like our first like official not inappropriate song. And then so after that, yeah, we wrote Kraken and Your Song, and we decided like, yeah, we should totally record these. So Caleb knew a guy through church who's an audio engineer. We went over to his house. We took like forever to record it actually, because we only could do like one day a weekend,
Yeah.
and so it was split up along several days. So we recorded all those songs at the same time.
Like all October.
Yeah, so we did like
Huh.
we did all the drums for that whole EP in one day. Yeah. And then we did all the guitars in one day and all the whatever.
Gotcha.
And then just sort of like, but it took a, you know, he was a busy guy with other people to mix. He was also mixing it for us and mastering it. And so then when he has that plus other projects, it took a while to get like every song done. So we're like, let's start with Perfume, and then we're like, and Your Song is about ready, so let's release
Gotcha.
that, and then soon enough The Basement will be ready to release as this whole thing, sort of just hype it up.
And of course, working with somebody who goes to church, definitely don't want to show off any inappropriate songs.
Yeah.
That's probably fatal for the relationship.
Yeah, we were a little worried about anime girls.
Are you sure we want to record that way, guys? I'm gonna get in trouble.
Maybe he likes anime. Who knows?
Exactly.
So that's really cool. You guys all met in school, is that right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And you guys are all currently going to school together.
Me and Sam are going to CU Denver.
Okay.
Well, were. I don't know. It's kind of switched around now. But we were going to CU Denver. Kieran was going to Boulder.
I was in Seaboy. I was right down
Yeah.
the road.
Wow. Okay.
CSU and then Front Range.
Gotcha.
So we were kind of all over.
And now you're all kind of in Fort Collins.
At least for the summer. Yeah, for the
yeah.
summer.
Cool.
We're all back out of school.
Heck yeah. And were you guys studying music? I feel like some of
Yeah.
you guys definitely were.
These two for sure.
I'm doing like recording and production for mine because they
Nice.
have really good one like music scene in CU Denver. They have like all these studios that you can use all for free. Some really good equipment, like $4,000 mics that they just let the students use. So like it's a great resource if like you're
Totally.
in a band. Like we're gonna try. They kind of closed them down for the summer, but we're gonna try to get in there. a little
Yeah.
more. Now
But-
that I've kind of learned how, like, all the boards, like it's so complicated.
All the
There's-
boards.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, definitely. That's exciting though. You know, I feel like you guys have really just started to scratch the surface of where it is that you guys are going in terms of musical development, creation, ability, all that stuff. I feel like, you know, if you guys all got like crazy neck tattoos, maybe you could be like the next Cliffy or something.
Trying to level up a little bit. We just need some money.
Yeah. Yeah, neck tattoos are kind of expensive and painful. So the only song that you guys have with synthesizers is Anime Girls. And I know we keep coming back to this song, but I'm curious, was it just like a digital synth module you guys used, or do you guys actually have a synth lying around?
I think it was digital.
It was just a
MIDI,
digital.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was just Josh's like little MIDI keyboard. We just found a synth that we liked and just put it on. Because I really wanted this synth on it, because that's kind of how I first envisioned it, like that little.
Yeah, it fits. It fits
Yeah.
pretty well. I'm always just curious because I'm a big analog synth nerd. I have very few left based on how many I've had in my life. But at one point I knew a lot about synths and in general that kind of lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Definitely.
if you're into synths, then you're into synths.
Like, you gotta get the racks. You gotta like get like 17 different kinds of cable links and plug things in, clean it up. You know. So what's FDA stand for?
It is actually the chords. It's literally
Yeah.
just the
F
chords.
major, D minor,
Oh.
A major.
Okay.
We meant to come up with a different name. And then
Yeah,
we really
yeah,
never did.
but also this is a long running joke with that song.
Yeah.
Was that like,
Because I looked through the lyrics and I was like, is it like an acronym?
yeah,
No.
like
So
you can't really
FDA
tell the meaning from it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I wrote it and I told Kieran and Miles the meaning of it, but I didn't tell anyone else. And I don't know.
We kept it secret.
They were like,
for a
bro,
long
that's
time.
really good. You should keep that a secret from everyone else. Like, don't tell anyone when they ask you about what it means. Just don't even tell them. So
You don't
we
have to
kinda-
tell me.
We kind of kept it a mystery.
That's for like the lyrics though. The lyrics seem
Yeah.
like super like poetic. They like reads like a poem is what somebody else I know said. And they're like, what does it mean? And I was like, I can't tell you. I have no clue. They guarded it like a secret. I've
Right.
never seen Kieran or Laren guard something as closely as that one. But as for the actual title, FDA was the other song off of Nova that I wrote, and I didn't do the lyrics for it obviously, but all the instrumentals except for Kieran's solo.
Nothing.
Oh, and like the main little melody riff.
That was
me.
kinda you, though.
Me and
That was
Laren
like-
kind of wrote that by accident,
And synth.
and
Yeah.
I guess
Sam was in the middle.
I
We were
guess Sam was
sitting
in the middle.
like
Well,
this.
we're
I was the
sitting
one
on
guitar, and we were just like, I was the one who was able to put the idea into your ears.
But then,
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
you get a new song, you're like, what do we call it? And it was like, oh, for now we'll just call it FDA. And then I was like, oh, it'd be funny if it was FDA approved, because, you know, Food Drug Administration. And then when we released it, it was supposed to be called FDA approved, because we never ended up coming up with a name for it. And
we
then
forget?
We forgot to
We
put
did.
it for
I
FDA.
asked. I was like, because I thought it was gonna be FDA, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to release it. It's released as FDA. That cool? And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, it's set to release, and they're like, actually change it to FDA approved, and I was like,
Whoopsie.
Oops.
Oops, yeah, it was a big whoopsie daisy.
You know, I feel like that would have sort of gone in a very different direction than where the lyrics are pointing, because you're right, the lyrics have this very poetic sort of place that kind of, you know, I hope this isn't an insult, but it kind of feels like Red Hot Chili Peppers lyrics sometimes, where it's just like they're just talking about like 17 different kinds of things, but like it feels like there's like some kind of undercurrent of connection between them, you know? And yeah, FDA approved just doesn't sound, I mean, especially coming out of, you know, the big
It's kind of too
Yeah.
airplane.
Panini.
themed.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, on the topic of acronyms, what's NOBA stand for?
Not our basement anymore.
Because you're not recording in a basement anymore?
we actually were
We
recording
did
in a
record
basement.
it in a basement, so
Okay.
it's a different
Hours.
basement.
It was not our basement anymore.
Anymore.
Yeah.
And like it also like symbolizes like our growth as songwriters, because you know like when we did like the basement songs, like we were like in my basement coming over after school jamming for like 3 hours writing our songs, and like not our basement anymore. It's like, you know, like we've evolved, like we're getting older and we're getting more experience, and we're getting out of that basement.
You gonna call the next one like now we're in a studio?
No,
We'll see.
I think we're gonna call it.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that was a good
Yes.
EP,
Yeah.
like for the EPs, for the
Yeah, the
album.
two EPs. They
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
have the
the
common theme.
the EP cover for the basement is Kieran's basement, where we used to practice. We'll still practice.
Sick.
So we still are in that
Well,
basement, but like it was more of a metaphorical thing. But I think
Yeah.
this is unconfirmed, but our next album might be called Cellar, because our sound is starting to get heavier.
Ooh.
Or
Or
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
I don't know
I
about
like it.
bro, where did you come up
Unconfirmed.
with that one? That was Kieran's
From where?
idea.
Yeah, forever ago.
We just
or
can't,
call
we
it.
can't have this like be a theme.
We said maybe call it Album and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yikes.
sweet-
I mean,
We'll see. We'll see.
At least you guys have a sense of humor about
Yeah,
that.
we have a
Yeah.
we have a whole album photo for Album and the Chipmunks. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's terrible.
That's
Both
scary
of
to
our
think
EP
about.
names we came up with like literally last minute, right before we were like, Sam was like, "Hey, what do I type in for album name?"
Yeah. So the intro, like conversational intro on Pipe Layer before the music starts, when it's
Mhm.
like, oh, it's not supposed to make sense. That's the whole point. It's because we wanted to call the first EP Clementine 2, because that would have been super funny. It's like, oh, it's our first release. We're calling it the second one, even though it's the first one. And then, like, right before, Sam's like, I don't know if we should call it that, guys. I don't know. And then the recording that was derived from, I think we were playing FDA for, like, the first time. We're
Like
what
the
sh-
first time.
Yeah, and we were like, what should we call this next project? And Sam was like, now we can call it Clementine 2. And it's like, no.
It's not supposed to make
sense.
fucking sense. That's the whole fucking point.
That I feel like is a nice little window into the process. That really.
Yeah, we kind of wing shit a lot.
Yeah.
And
It's
it kind of
planning
works
when it-
out.
People don't need to know that though.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, now they do.
It's on. We got it on
Ourselves,
lock.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
You're outing yourselves, but that's the whole point. You know, you guys want people to see the personality behind
Yeah.
the music, and this is a nice little window into that, and I think it's really cool and special. That being said, I believe you guys have some more tunes you want to play.
Let's do it.
FDA, I think we got the segue straight in that shit.
Let's
You ready?
Yes.
Oops. No one heard that.
Thank you.
That one has a lot of range in it. I like it. Just the
I wish I could
dynamics,
have sex with
the
that song.
big, the big pauses, the way the drum builds up and kind of has this like bam sort of thing to it. That's tasteful. That's
We like pauses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pauses in there every so often.
Yeah.
You can't be playing all the time. Like you gotta
Gotta take a little
room to
break here and
breathe.
there.
Yeah.
The music is really made in between the notes. Is something I've heard.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you guys definitely embody that pretty well. So, out of curiosity, and this is a question you guys can answer individually or as a group. I feel like oftentimes people have their own opinions that they come out. I ask this question a lot, so if you've seen another episode, you might have heard it before. Who would be your dream band to open for? Yeah.
Gotta be.
Green Day?
I was gonna say Weezer.
Yeah.
As a joke, sort of, but also I really do appreciate
We
Weezer.
emulate.
It could be
Weezer
people that aren't touring anymore and stuff like that too, you know.
aren't touring anymore. Ooh.
Does it have to like fit our sound?
It could be anyone.
I mean, usually people say stuff that is like would make sense on a bill, but
Makes sense.
I think we
Blank
should do
Slate was like,
Kendrick Lamar.
"Hey, Beatles." Yeah.
Okay.
We would kill them.
Me
Yeah.
personally, I think it would be super rad to open for either Rolling Stones or Thin Lizzy. I think either of
Oh.
those could be like really fun.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. Anyone else? Weezer.
Think about that.
Weezer.
Maybe Joji, honestly.
Yeah, Joji would be.
Joji would
Yeah.
be fire as fuck.
Doja
To
Cat.
open for. Doja Cat too. I could sing Freak, bro.
The Velveteers would be a great
Oh.
band for you
Oh,
guys
shit,
to be on.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
And that.
Love the Velveteers.
Remo Drive. There we go.
On
That's
me.
mine.
Nice.
Yep.
Were you guys at that show in at the Fox for the Velveteers?
I was there.
I was at the Bluebird one. That was
Nice.
good times.
I was at the Fox one. That was amazing.
Where were you positioned? Were you like on the floor?
I was actually taking pictures.
Okay.
So I kind of hung around either on the wings or in by the sound booth because I had a telescopic lens.
Yeah, that's
So-
probably
That's what's up.
better
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in that pit.
Oh, so-
the camera.
So Kieran and I went to a Velveteers concert at Larimer Lounge last summer, and it was so funny
Oh,
because I was
wow.
like, wow, there's a spot open right up front in the middle here. How convenient is that? And so we walk
Oh,
up,
wow.
and this like big middle-aged dude goes, stop, no, this is mom's spot. This spot is reserved for mom. And he kind of bullied us away, and I was gonna be like, and then his mom finally comes in, and I was like, maybe it's his wife or maybe somebody he calls mom, but it was like his actual mom, it was this old lady, and I didn't want to tell him, but I was like, because he probably wouldn't believe me, and I was being a little petty too, but I was like, as soon as this music starts, man, your mom's gonna get walloped. And the music started, and I remember looking back, and she was just standing there like looking around, super scared, like, cannot comprehend what was happening. What do you know about mom standing in the back with son like 5 minutes later while these other two people are just going to town in the mosh pit?
Yeah, that sounds about right for a Velveteer show, for sure.
Or you gotta open for Gummy Gang.
Or
Or
Gummy
Gummy
Angel.
Angel. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
See that? See that? Out of all the people that you guys have played with in the local scene so far, who have been some of your favorites?
Hospital Socks.
Yeah.
Number one.
Blank Slate
Always.
actually.
Blank Slate is
We've
up
only
there.
played with them twice, but man, those guys
Yeah.
are so good.
Trees Don't Move.
Yeah.
Trees Don't Move. They're a band from Eagle.
Ooh,
Colorado.
Trees Don't Move.
Wastebasket.
Wastebasket.
Fire.
Homies.
Are they locals?
They're
They're
like Denver,
Denver,
Fort
Denver.
Collins, but yeah, they're really solid.
See, this is how I sometimes just get extra people to follow.
And Scuffed too.
They broke
Even
up.
though
Broke
they
up.
broke up.
Oh, I
but
already
still.
followed
Is
these
that
guys.
it?
Is that public knowledge? This
we don't
didn't
know.
happen.
I think so.
Bro.
Billy
Liz
was
now.
talking.
Yeah, exactly. We just told everyone.
No, I mean, yeah,
they still
there's
got music though,
definitely
and it's
people
fire.
listening
Except
right now.
Yeah.
y'all might not be able to see
Hospital
live.
Socks was just like the first band. Like we're obviously pretty young, and when we started, we were a lot younger. So a lot of other people we play with would kind of look down on us, being like, "Oh, you're just kids in a band." Like, or it was, "Oh, your music is good for your age." It's like, what do you mean it's good for like how old we are? Can't it just be good? But Hospital Socks, they were the
It's
first
awkward.
ones who were like super nice to us, and it was like we hit it off like right off the bat, and then they weren't like, "Oh, you guys are just young ones in a band."
But also they're pretty young too, but like old enough
Old
compared
enough,
to us
yeah.
where they like can sort of give us advice and so
Like the
Yeah.
Big Brother
Yeah,
band.
you know, there's a lot of stuff that in the music industry that happens, and
Mhm.
just in general music business that like you don't really get savvy to until it starts happening, and it's all different and regional too. Just knowing about like, oh, watch out for this venue, or watch out for this band, or watch out for this stuff that happens. It's like, it's great to have somebody who's willing to like mentor and just kind of not treat you like, I'll figure it out. Like, just like get off my lawn and stuff. So annoying, honestly.
Oh, and Plasma Canvas too.
Yeah.
Oh, sick,
I like
cool.
those guys.
I just sent them an email.
Oh yeah.
They're so tight.
Yeah, they're
Yeah. By the way, if anybody's tuned in right now, which they are, and you guys would like to say anything to the band, I do have a little chat channel handy in my hand, and if you have any questions, sometimes towards the end we reserve a couple minutes to answer some of those questions, so feel free to do that. In the meanwhile, I have a couple more questions of my own.
Every band member, penis size.
No. So, what's your favorite song to play of yours?
FDA for me.
The new.
I can see that.
Or
Counting our new songs.
Counting
we
our
have
new
some new
songs.
songs in the works
Half.
that are crazy.
Mine
Half
might
is
have
a
to
good
be
one.
this new song that I'm gonna tease called Plastic Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
Ooh.
really
And then there's
fun.
these like really crazy harmonies in it where it's just like your ears are like, wow,
They're, like,
that sounds
coming.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
It's
also
like really cool. Nothing. I was gonna say some dumb music theory thing.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Closer to casual.
Yeah.
we also just wrote this other new song called "Come Drop," and that one's
That's
like
working title.
like it was cute that
No,
like
we never
come
have like
and
titles
drop.
for our stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the beginning, so we just come up with random shit.
Closer to
Working
casual
title.
used to
It's-
be butt sex.
Yeah, COME drop, like come and drop, not. But anyways, that one's a super fun one because it feels like really emotional while you're playing it.
Hard ass poo poo fart.
Hardest movie.
Which is also a working title.
Working
Now we're just
title.
saying all of our unreleased.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know. I kind
Yeah.
of like that one as just the official title. But
Hard
that's
ass poo
funny.
poo fart.
Yeah.
Hap.
Hap for
Yeah.
short.
For
Hap
sure.
for short.
You guys are a fan of acronyms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seems to work
I love
out.
that.
Miles Stevens says love you goons.
Oh, Miles.
Oh.
Shout out.
We love Miles.
Miles,
Miles.
Miles is in Hospital Socks and,
And
also
Plasma
Plasma
Canvas.
Canvas.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Expect to hear back from them soon. We have about 10 minutes left, so if you guys do want to tease that last song, you're more than welcome to hit it now.
Y'all want to play pipe?
Yeah, I think we should.
Should we tease Plastic Smiles?
I'd be down to.
Oh, I would be so down to tease Plastic
Okay.
Smile.
I just belt my harmonies though, so I don't know.
They
It's
go
fun.
for it, just
It'll be
belt it.
fun.
Just
I'll
belt
just-
it.
I've been belting this whole time.
It's a little tough. In retrospect, I think I should have given Laren a microphone, but it's I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
Are we doing pipe or?
Let's do plastic. If we have time, we'll
Okay.
finish off with pipe.
There's 10.
Okay.
Oh, well, pipe time.
Alternate tunings.
I hate when I'm trying to practice a fill and they just start trying to tune their guitars in practice.
Yeah, that's why I have a tuner that has a bypass, so I can't fucking. Don't have to actually hear it. It just tells me what's right. Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Napalm skies, leaving everything that was behind into cigarettes.
I love songs that end that way, but I hate them on this show sometimes because I'm like, oh fuck, hello.
You don't know what it's.
Great work. That was really cool. I like the rhythmic sort of complexity between like the lyrics and like the song, kind of like going over the bar, doing all this stuff that just sort of makes it feel like the actual hits kind of hit even harder. Yeah.
It's like 7/8 to 6/8.
Yeah.
Which kind of.
It's
6/8 to 4/4.
It's a 7-bar verse.
7-bar verse.
Oh yeah.
That sounds right. I didn't feel any 7 in that, but yeah, really cool. 3:56. You guys want to do one more, or do you want to do some shout outs, talk about like some upcoming shows, talk about I mean, we could go over 5 minutes. I don't give a shit.
We're playing Taste Fort Collins June 10th at 2:30 on the main stage. We have a show on July 8th at the Black Buzzard.
Nice.
As of now, that's all we got on the books, except for a house show on July 4th, but it's my cousin's house, so I
You're not
cannot
invited.
share the address online. Shout out Miles Stevenson.
Shout out Hospital Sucks.
Shout out Miles.
Shout out Bill Stevenson.
Shout out Obama.
Shout out Ryan Gosling's performance as Obama.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Jojo Siwa, honestly.
That's all I got to shout out though. Do we got time for another song?
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Definitely do. What's this one called?
Pipe layer.
Pipe layer.
Laying that
We're gonna
pipe.
attempt it acoustic. It might sound weird.
It's too distorted.
We've
to
done
do
acoustic, dog.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah,
band
It's
for it.
Don't
so
say that,
cool.
just
It's
don't
like
say that.
cowboy.
Yeah.
Let them discover it. They'll see.
I'll discover it with
Oh,
you guys.
Kieran's got a tune.
Cracker always got a tune.
Yeah, well, one of us has to sound good.
What's that supposed to mean?
Did I have a sip of my water?
I don't have any more.
I can get you some water real quick.
Here, I got it.
Okay.
Alright.
Two, three, four.
Let me rock crazy America. There ain't no stopping if you win the day. Lady on the floor with her brains blown out. No, she could understand what the commotion's about. Cause you all wants to see us institutionalized. And you're ignorant, blind, the way you picture the pride. So he said, boy, by the end of the week, the bodies in the corner are starting to leak. I said, what did he say? Show yourself, take your time, commit to something more than a petty crime. You bet we'll have worse. I'll put these other kids in a cold hearse. The kings are dead now, the money rules us. The past only matters if we give them our trust. They must be with rage, it's the future we crave. Lead them to their own grave, someone sick and behave. Someone sick in their brain, someone drive them insane. Someone drive them insane, someone drive them insane. Shooting at the fucking cop. I don't give a shit about what you say. And if I wanna see him dead, it won't take more than a day. I said, the voices in the ring says it's not worth a damn thing. Show them with daddy's toys. Show them not to make noise. Show them that it don't belong. Just a waste of life. Just a ticking bomb. Take everything away from them in the end. Because they don't give a shit about what happens to them. on what you say. And if I wanna see him dead, it won't take more than a day. I said it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that shit goes hard as fuck acoustic, honestly.
That was sick. That bass riff is awesome. That drum riff at the beginning, savage. I like hearing it on the actual kit, but
Yeah,
hearing it
it's-
reproduced on the cajon, that wasn't bad at all.
I tried.
Still bored.
Do what I could.
You guys all sound fucking incredible. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today, working around our little schedule conflicts.
Yeah,
And
thanks for
Thank
having
you so
us
much.
at the end of the day. That's
This is
what's
super
important.
sick.
thank you. And you guys are super sick. And you've got 2 shows coming up, Black Buzzard and
Taste for Collins.
Taste for Collins. That'll be,
June 10th at 2:30 on the main stage.
and then Black Buzzard
July 8th.
July 8th. Cool. We'll see if we can sneak some other shows for you guys in. Stay tuned for more Clementine stuff through their Instagram. And next week we'll be having on Satellite Friend, who I think is also a Fort Collins band. So you guys should get in touch with them. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet.
Always down to make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here. This has been the Pink Sofa Hour. Have an excellent evening, everyone. That camera over
Peace
there.
out,
if you wanna
y'all.
say bye.
Thank you for watching.